This is the Toward a New World podcast with your host, Corinna Stoffel. As a space for all things regarding the global, collective transition we are in, we have conversations about transition, separation, and connection regarding oneself, others, and the earth. The aim is to educate, empower, and inspire. Welcome, everybody. This is the new podcast where once a month I will have a guest. At least that's my idea right now. And I'm starting with an old friend and a colleague. We have been doing Marianne De Maeyer, and we have been doing Facebook Lives, and we have conversations, continue to have conversations. And she has, no, not has, she is instrumental for me in keeping me connected with my body, because Marianne has an incredible connection with her body. And this connection with the body is creating some different kind of awareness information than thinking. And so I really am looking forward to today's conversation. And Marianne, first of all, thank you for being here. And then
Thank you.
Will you start us off in telling us, how did you learn to connect with your body?
Interesting question, Corinna. Thank you for that. How did I learn? I can say that for years and years and years, literally years, I denied my body. I denied the conversations my body gave me. And I required 3 quite intense moments in my life to get the turning point to be where I am now in the moment. And the first one was, I was still married, but a marriage that didn't work very well. And my health went really down. So much down that nearly all my organs were stopping to work as it was meant to be. And when I came into the office of an acupuncture, she said to me, I can't believe that you are still here. I can't believe that you are still alive, because literally not one organ is working properly. But amazingly, quite quickly, my body recovered. So in that moment, I went through with the divorce as well. So I was not really linking one to another as what is it truly. I was sick because of. And that was it. That was the mental thing. The second one was the sudden death of my second husband. That was a shock that literally my body stopped functioning again. It restarted again after 1 week. And at that moment happened so many things that one day I was sitting in my chair and everything was white. And I couldn't get what is it about. And all the pains I suffered before within my body went away. I was pain-free. I was light. Everything was going on. And even within the taste of the food, I couldn't even smell sugary meals, sugary things. I couldn't eat them. And that for more than 2 years, I couldn't. But then going on with life, coping, fitting in again, trying to do what you always did. everything started again until the moment that was seen within in the doctor's office. Ooh, wow, that I had how do you call it, a lump, a lump in my breast.
Hmm.
And the doctor was really worrying. And in that moment, Karina, my whole life passed by, and I was thinking, oh, I'm still so young. I want to see grow up my children, my grandchildren, because at that moment I had already two grandchildren. So and I thought it was in a kind of panic. But my partner, he stayed calm and he said, everything will go well. You can do this. We will do it together. And that calmed me down. And what did I do then, Karina? That was the turning point of everything. I said to my partner, okay, thank you for believing in it. Thank you for calming down. Now I'm going to take time for me. And I ask you for 1 week to let me be all by myself. I'm going to sit and I'm going to communicate with my body. I do really want to know what's going on. What is it that this disease, quote unquote, is want to tell me? And within 1 week, Karina, I meditated from the morning till the night, but I received everything. I received all the information on emotional level, on mental level, and I received in which way I could contribute to reverse the thing due to the alimentation and the food
Yeah,
you taking.
nourishment. Yeah.
And it was showing me everything. It the weeks after, when I opened the computer, everything came to me. So I did it. I did it. And I marked an appointment 2 months later in Belgium because I'm living in Portugal and I wanted to go for the treatment and everything in Belgium. So I went there. And when I came there for the exams, everything was gone.
Wow.
There was nothing left. And I thought, wow, if I don't have any connection now with my body, I will never have it. And within me, I knew because I said it during my meditation, is like, in a way, I said, universe, God, if I receive now the cure, my cure, not the cure, but my cure of what is going on, then I will dedicate the rest of my life to be more with the body and to communicate with others what it is to be with the body, and in which ways the body communicates, and what it is about. So there it comes from, Karina.
So, I mean, this is a unique journey for you, but
Exactly.
let's say whoever listens to it, either now or in the future, what would you suggest to that person that they can start connecting with their body? What is something more generic where you do not need to get breast cancer?
Exactly. Because yeah, we know the
Yeah.
first thing I would say now is become conscious aware, if you want to, that it is natural. You have a connection with your body. Everyone has. Just by being born, we are sitting here. Every living person has a connection with the body. If
Really?
we acknowledge that or not, yes, sorry, Karina, you have a connection with your body. And what I discovered here, Karina, by saying this, and that's lately now, what I'm going to tell is a latest discover how to communicate this connection with the person. due to my experience again by being within nature, nature is natural. Our bodies are nature, and we have a connection from the start. It is our nature, and we are nature by having a body.
I see.
We don't listen to it, but truly, do we listen to nature? Or is nature there and nature goes on? And mentally, we know, oh, it's raining because that's the time of the year. It's autumn. Or, yeah, the sun is shining, or whatever is
Yeah,
going on. There are so many things that is so natural, normal, as, yeah, we don't
as,
think even about it,
as
but we
breathing.
don't feel it
Yeah,
either. We
yeah,
don't feel it either. And what if the communication of our body is like a storm, is like the sunshine, is like the rain, is like the flourishing spring?
exactly.
As you know, we think we don't have a connection with the body, but everyone has. And everyone receives from the body. Everyone. But could it be that we ourselves are splitting it up? That we are the ones that disconnect us within the thinking?
And I can see your point because if I really look at it, thinking is what is valued. The body is, that is me. There is, I mean, on some level, if I look from how most people think, how can you talk about being separate from your body? Because this is who I am. And I
Exactly.
know me, the being, and the body are not exactly the same. We are together, but we are not the same.
Yeah.
And so I can hear you that we really need to pay attention to what is going on in my body right now. But
Yeah. Even if I ask you, Karina, how many times did you came into a room, for example, and there was something that you noticed in your body, but you swept it away immediately because of you start a conversation, or you want to fit in, or you do something, or
yeah,
whatever. It's so quickly that we brush away what the body really is telling us. And if you see, going with that connection we have by birth, we choose to connect our being with the body because that is what gives us the possibility to be here, to explore, to grow, to whatever we do here. And then we are born. And what does a baby? A baby has different cries. A mom can hear, my baby is thirsty, my baby is sleepy, my baby is wet,
yeah,
as naturally. Nobody has to learn that. And it will be different for every mom, as the cries will be different for every baby. But due to that connection from body to body, the baby grew with the body in the body of the mom.
yeah.
So there was already that connection and interaction and conversation. Therefore, could it be that a mom hears, understands, gets, due to the different cries a baby give her, what is required? And at the same time, and that is the splitting, we are growing up from the moment we are born. Then there is the other part, the mental part, the part of how it is meant to be in general that a baby grows up, how many feedings it requires, how many this, how many that, the hour, the this, that. And if the baby is lightly or heavily going out of that pre-described behavior that is the normal, then you have an abnormal baby. Then there is something wrong with the baby.
Yeah, or those are your first traumas as the baby, because you may cry for because you're hungry, or you're scared or lonely. And uh, how much are mothers being told, oh, you just need to let your baby cry, it'll stop, and it's not a good idea if you pick it up right away, etc. But what if that is the first traumas that a person experiences in life? That I'm not safe.
Exactly. And that is, in my case, something that, yeah, was really hot in a hot point in my life, as I have my inner world where I live my connection with my body, but I have an outer world where I learn to behave me in a way
Yeah.
to go with everything on demand, knowing also what others want from me. And that is in general for so many people the case, that there is an inner world, and that is the true connection we have with the body, still in purity.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing is we don't listen to it. Yeah, we don't give it a word, and then we create difficult relationships, we create difficulties with the health issues, or name it, because that is also the diversity in which way we create the separation with our body, as we are unique. All
Mm-hmm.
we are unique. And again, there we see then the, for example, within disease, what does, yeah, the medicine world, the general, I don't speak of the alternative ways to see the holistic ways, but in general, it's one disease, one way of the symptoms, and one way of the treatments.
Yeah.
And where is the being? Again, it's a body issue, but it is not received as a communication of the body.
And when you say this, this reminds me of, in a way, of my mother, where I always felt that uh, she looked at her body as if as someone would look at a car. Something is wrong with the car, you bring it in the shop, the mechanic fixes it, and then you drive the car home. You go home, and those doctors were really lousy mechanics often because they couldn't fix the body.
Yeah,
But it is what you were saying, it is that there are underlying reasons why that car is not working.
exactly. And that will be different if we even go with the same problems.
Yeah,
We have both the same car, the body, let us say it's a similar car, and we go to the doctor, to the mechanic, because we say, yeah, there is something with my shoulder. Let us say there is something with my shoulder, but the mechanic, they will see only what they have learned in school within the books,
yeah.
and then the treatment is the same. But your body is probably telling you something completely different than my body.
And so, how is how is what your body tells you in a way different than from what your intellect tells you? I mean, I have a problem. Uh, I'm living in a certain way and I'm thinking about it, and there's this going on with my body, and therefore, da 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 da. But where is the difference, and how can I pick up that there is a different underlying reason than, you know?
Yeah. For, yeah. In the first place, I would say give yourself again the time, space to remember in a way the natural connection you have with your body. As I see it for myself, it is a way of up and downs and trying again and listening again and practicing again. And still there are moments that I deny what is communicated. If I go back to what we said from the start, you were born, and there is a natural way of communication that is already, yeah, being shut up, as you have to go with a certain pre-dominated, pre-described way of growing up,
Mhm.
because it is from that month to that month you drink the milk, and then you can start with the vegetables, and then you can start with the food, with the fruit, and then you crawl, and then no, you sit and you crawl and you walk, but everything has his
It's
direction, has his point in life, that you have to do that. It's nothing about being that. It's all acting, acting, acting in a way that is all the mental thing. So that is what we learned. We
yeah.
learned to communicate mentally. And learned in this case is we conclude every time,
Yeah.
because that is nearly an indoctrination.
Mhm.
So for me, I would say, within my experience during life, as the feeling, sensing the inner world, the emotions there, and emotions, I will not speak about the sadness and the happiness, but the feelings is literally that stream in the body, those little sensations of a shivering or a cold or a heat or a kind of nerve system
Mhm.
that's going on. There are so many movements within our body that we don't acknowledge any longer, that most of the time is already the start of a communication. Like, in a way, Karina, it's a sunny day and rain is coming. So we see coming in the clouds. That's the first signal. And then mentally we say, oh, yeah, rain is coming. But then we already let it go, because we know rain is coming and we know what rain is, and then we don't give it any attention anymore,
Yeah.
because it will rain. In a way, with our body, it's the same. Everything is smooth and well, and then there is some sensation in the body that is like the cloud is showing up. And we notice that sensation, but as quickly we let it go, and we
Yeah.
don't give any attention any longer.
Guilty as charged.
And what I would say, Karina, as I experienced, I practiced quite a while in the, yeah, when in that turning point, how it is when I was taking a shower, I would say, be present, feel the water touching your skin. When you
Mhm.
moisturize yourself, feel. the touch of your fingers, your hand on your skin. And when I say feeling, is really
Yeah.
feel it. It's not a mental feeling, as I know that that is happening. When I put my hand on my other hand, yeah, I feel it. But when I say this, I feel it, that's coming from here because I learned that that is a touching and then I feel it. But when I be with it, I feel it. Then I can start feeling the cells within my skin giving me something. So the practice for me was also 10 minutes a day. What's 10 minutes in a day? And you can do it in the morning, in your bed, sitting, yeah, whatever. You can do it everywhere, even when you are doing the shopping and there is a row in front of the cashier. You can do it also while you are
Mhm.
waiting or
Right.
whatever. There is what is 10, even 5 minutes, is being quiet and in a way turning yourself into your inner world and being curious, just curious. It's not about discovering, it's not about that you have to know what is going on, but that curiosity. What am I feeling? What are the sensations now?
And curiosity doesn't have to have an agenda.
Oh,
Yeah.
because for me, when there is an agenda, then there is no curiosity. Then it is only looking for what is predefined. You know, an agenda is already there. So, what is the curiosity? There is not. There is no curiosity when you go with an agenda.
Then you look for either proving or disproving whatever
Oh,
the,
yeah,
the agenda
yeah,
is. Yeah,
yeah,
I get it.
yeah, yeah. And it's also within those questions is you can ask what is going on in the world, not going with what do I know due to the
News.
mainstream or whatever, but
Yeah.
just curious what is going on in the world, but asking that question while you are within in your inner world. What can come up? What can come up? You don't know. And it's again, it's not about to know as, oh yeah, when I'm doing that I can say, in Iraq there is this and this and this and that is here and here. I mean, it's not about that. It is feeling, again, sensing what is going on in the world, what is going on with the earth, and noticing your body, the response of your body. Is there a shivering? Is there a contraction? Is there, yeah, is your heart opening up? Is, all those different
Yeah.
sensations. We are so, we disconnected ourselves also with the sensations because we speak of the emotions. But what if within the emotions, there are so much more sensations that when you are willing to remember the sensations, that is the natural connection we have with the body. Just asking, just saying. And the more you sit with that, with the sensations, the more you will start to recognize the sensations. As what I said, the clouds coming in,
Mm.
the first symptoms, actions your body gives you as calling you. Hey, I have something to tell you.
And listening to you, it put me back to last year when I woke up and there was a sense of sadness. And I knew that I had no reason, there was nothing going on in my life. So I would be sad. So I was wondering what is going on? What is this? But then I just parked it, sort of. And later, reading the news, I read that the war in the Ukraine had started. And that's when, as a sudden, oh, I was perceiving the sadness that the Ukrainians and other people that were aware of that war beginning, that they were feeling.
Then I'll ask you something about that, what you
Yeah.
came to tell here. As you said, you were sitting in curiosity. Where come the sadness from, or what is going on? That's the curiosity. And what you call I parked it was more like I am willing to receive the information of my body, because there is no agenda, there is no pressure, there is nothing. You are curious to receive what is going on. Within your curiosity, you are present with the sensation, because you knew it was a sadness, but due to the curiosity, you are present also with the sensations, even though you couldn't name them, what there was
Mm-hmm.
underlying of sensations. Could it be then the moment, Karina, that you heard about the Ukraine history, what started there, that there was immediately the sensation that you recognized, and due to the recognition, the knowing that sensation that came in, that you knew then, oh, that was the sadness about. I picked up, my body was telling me there is something quite interesting going on in the world.
Yeah.
And that is not only the sadness, but that's about the sensations. As I had it once so clearly, and I can remember it. I was on the beach and I was laying down, and I literally heard cracking and noisy things, and what is going on? And I looked around me, because I thought they were working somewhere with
Mm-hmm.
machines or whatever. Nothing. And my body, the sensation in my body, kind of agitated, a nervous thing, like,
Mm-hmm.
something agitated. But because I couldn't get it at the moment, I also, in a way, parked it. It's not parking, it's like I let go, and then I am willing to receive what was going on.
Yeah.
And later in the evening, there was an earthquake that was miles away from the place I was. But also there, it was like hearing about it. My body had the same sensations I had on the beach. And I knew as well, oh, my body was telling me that there was an earthquake going on. And that's the natural, because we know, we are saying it, nature, everything is nature, people is nature, the forest is nature, the mountains is nature, the ocean is nature, the earth is nature, the birds, the animals, everything is nature. And from nature, we have an easier communication line with,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
yeah, smaller things in nature. In that way, we discovered already, as I see it, that we discovered it, that in a way, your communication, your connection, we can say, with the mountains, with the rocks, is different, quite different, and so much more in depth to hear and understand and get what is going on there. And for me, it's water is so much louder. It's different, but it's both nature. And what if that inner connection, that inner world, is literally our nature, as within the mission, perhaps we come to be here?
The purpose, yeah.
And it's like in the music world, there are people that loves of the pop, the rock, the classic music, but it's all communication. It's, yeah, why do you love green and I love blue? Or why do you love the trumpet and I love the saxophone? Or do you get it? But it's about the natural way of communicating. And what if we let go of comparing ourselves?
Yeah.
As in thinking, oh, but as you mentioned in the beginning, yeah, I have a really good connection and I can speak about it. But what if that is part of the way my body is communicating with me, because I came here to be that communicator about that? And you are a quite different communicator.
Yeah.
That's not, that is not the same as you don't have a connection as much as me with the body. It's only it's going differently. But when we start to acknowledge ourselves, acknowledging that everyone has that connection, and you can call that also the inner world, as I call listening, and let it flow more out smoothly in that outer world, and letting go of all the boxes and lines and definitions, there is the connection immediately.
Yeah. Yeah, we're so entrained, and I think on some level science is displaying that in we want to see patterns.
Yeah.
And in that attempt to see patterns, we um, look at things in smaller and smaller and smaller units. And I remember that my daughter started university wanting to graduate major in biology. And then when she started to take her first few biology classes, she said, I can't deal with it. They barely see the tip of their nose. Let's not even look at how are things connected to each other. And if we are willing to let go of that, oh, there needs to be a pattern that I need to recognize, what if we're just willing to see the connections between something? And
And
it's
I'm going to be the devil now. I'm going to be the devil now.
okay.
But what if, Karina, that within the connection, there is our own unique pattern? As I speak to all the sensations are our unique pattern, and we can recognize the pattern of our own unique way of the connection within the body. And if we acknowledge that, then we are in the bigger connections and patterns immediately.
Okay.
As I hear you, as I
I
hear you, but it and I am with you what you are saying. I am completely with you. But it is also the how do you say it? The lines,
geometry, yeah.
geometry, all those lines, all those sensations, they are unique, but they are fitting as we can say they are fit in the bigger picture. So it is in the micro and the macro, it is within. And in a way, that is what your daughter perhaps wanted to say, that science, even within biology, is always looking to the macro, and they want to show us as it is the micro, but still is the macro. So it is confusing, I know what I'm saying, because it's like the focus is narrowing. And when we focus, we go to a point and then we narrow. But at the same time, when we narrow to our inner world and see and acknowledge and recognize that pattern that is within the micro, then there is also the micro, and that is the dance of the inner with the outer world going together. We can still be so unique, and that uniqueness is also a macro, beautiful, shining pattern.
And what I'm getting is, are we willing to hold the paradox that the micro
Are
and
we?
the macro are related to each other, and we only want to go to either the micro or the macro?
And there we have the separation again.
Yeah,
So that is really what I wanted to share, is
I hear you. Yeah,
stop the belief of not having a connection. It's more about what can I discover again within myself about my unique connection I have, that is flowing into the connection I have with the outer world, and stopping that separation.
yeah. Wow. Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom.
My pleasure, Karina.
And maybe at some point down the road, we'll have a repeat of uh, us talking to each other, and maybe on a different subject. But I really felt the need to bring you on to talk about the body. And
Thank you. It was really a pleasure again to sit here with you and to have a conversation and to share. I love
yeah,
it. Always.
I love it too. Thank you so much, Marianne. And
Thank you.
we'll
Bye
see you
bye.
later. Bye bye.